You're listening to the Paranormal UK radio network, the best in paranormal talk radio in the UK and around the world.
So what's going on? Everyone wants to know about the bees. We have a question coming up later on about the bees. What's the story of the bees now? The weather here where we are in New England, it's the end of May, and a good example of New England weather was I had the heat on in my house in the morning and I had the AC on in the afternoon. Same in the car. So how's that affect the bees? The weird
It's
weather?
weird for them, and the way things bloom or don't bloom. The flowers are late. They're not happy. They're not happy at all. And now one of my neighbors is complaining because he likes to have hummingbirds in his yard, and he likes to have Baltimore Orioles, and he sets out special stuff for them. And of course, the bees go over, and it's a free meal. They're going to take it every time. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Bees.
they're after the sugar water. They're after the
Yeah,
the fruit.
sugar water.
Oh my God!
I saw one of your bees was ran into him the other day. That the last hot day.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was one of yours. Going to hit that big A on his
Yeah,
his chest. Yeah.
Actually,
and-
I got chased into the house by
already this year.
yeah, and Sue did too. And actually,
really?
one come up on the deck after her,
Ooh.
and I had to unfortunately whack it with a fly swatter and kill it
Oh, another dead body.
because
huh?
it wasn't
Interesting.
letting. If it got in her hair,
Uh-huh.
she was toast. It was going to sting her. Because once they get in your hair, they're fighting for their life, and they'll sting anything they come into contact with.
Wow. Huh. Okay.
So yeah, I'd open the hives up, and they weren't happy.
Okay. This is bee hour.
Yeah.
On the Mack Maloney's business.
It's been so bloody cold and wet
Oh.
and raw, and I mean,
Yeah.
I had the heat on the other day. I mean,
Yeah, it's really nuts. The weather here is really screwy. And then it's 90 degrees the next day.
yeah, for about 2 hours, and the wind kicks
Yeah.
up, and it's freezing
Then
again.
rain, and it's really.
Yeah.
We'll be complaining about the heat
No, we won't.
1 month from now.
I never complain about heat. No such thing as too warm.
Really.
No
Well,
such thing.
How's this week? Because to talk about too warm, also with us is our security chief, international security chief, worldwide renowned, Willie Clubb, WC.
Hey, Mac. Hey, gang. It's great to be here.
I know I left something out. I can't remember what
No,
it was.
I was listening closely, too, but I couldn't figure out what it was. But I'm not offended at all. But I'm concerned, though, about Al with these bees. You know, we talked about this earlier,
Go ahead.
about those killer bees that are coming up here.
Right.
And it sounds to me like they might have infiltrated the hive. You said they're
Already.
going after their masters
Yep.
now, and they want to sting them. It's
Yep.
time for a good, solid shot of raid. I'll
Raid
tell
on
you.
the.
Big black trash bag over the hive, and just
That's it.
throw a smoke bomb in it.
Oh, that's good. Or you could light it up.
That was smoke
yeah,
bomb.
yeah, that would do it too.
Yeah, but I'm really concerned. I told you I'm getting some of these killer bee things to kill all of the different things that fly out here, particularly mosquitoes at night.
Yeah.
And, you know, they haven't been able to get them yet. For some reason, they don't want to sell them to me. You know, and so I got to keep working on it. But
The
I want some kind of certificate, you know, for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, like you're a licensed, insured.
Yeah, that I'm licensed and that and that I'm a normal person.
Oh, okay,
And
How they even sell
But
raid
anyway.
anymore? Do they sell raid? Yeah.
They sell more poison. I worked a very short term at Lowe's, and even to this day, when I walk down the aisle where the poisons are, I gag
Really?
because
Yeah.
it's so like once you are around it enough, you
Yes.
just have to walk down the aisle, and it's just you breathe it and you go, "Get me away from here! This is brutal."
Do you get high? You know?
No,
No.
you get sick.
So I know that's weird. Is that if a lot of that stuff is weed killing and stuff like that. When they crop dust, huge. You know, all they had to do is they figured out all farmers had to do is plant 10% more than they usually plant, and the insects eat 10%. but because fertilizer is made from oil and petroleum, and that's a huge business, man. That's an enormous part of the oil business, So that's what keeps kind of perpetuating that stuff. But remember Roundup?
Sure.
You still have a can of that, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
I still use it.
Yeah, but they don't. They took it off the market, right?
No, you can still buy Roundup.
Really?
Oh yeah, I got some in the garage.
No, you can buy that whole thing with Roundup was you'd have to basically bathe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys that they say got cancer were wearing those big industrial backpacks on with the power
really?
things
Yeah.
on them.
But one guy got paid like $100 million or something. He got a huge payout from. And I thought that part of the deal was they were taking it off the market. No. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I got a shitload of weeds. Will you come over with your...
Last time I walked over into your yard with Roundup, your wife wasn't happy.
No, it's all right. She'll come down. Anyway, thank you, Club. Thank you, Al.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, me
Sounds
too.
like we're going to have a lot going on.
Yeah, yes, right. Well, let's see. We'll find out. Also with us is our good friend down there in North Carolina. The best of the two Carolinas is superfan Susan K. Susan, the blonde with the Corvette. Oh, my goodness. How are you, Susan?
I'm doing so much better now that I'm here with all of you.
What is that fluffy thing in the left-hand corner there? What is that thing?
It's not very nice.
Oh, hey.
Second biggest fan. I'm not, yeah. All right, Al.
Wow. Wow, Club.
Club's going to set it too.
It's the cat. Oh, it's, the cat. Oh, shit. Look. He's looking at me. Isn't he? What's the matter? Is he all slept out and he just ate?
No, she's been sound asleep. She heard your voice and she's like, oh, it's time for Matt.
Yeah,
Looks like she's in a trance.
I'm going to tell you, you know how creepy this is for me? Now now what? Oh, was he just licking something? What is? Right, let's move on. Thank you, Susan. How are you? How's Rudy Tooty? You sent us pictures of you out riding him.
I did. So I finally got the nerve. I went across the street. We sometimes ride in the lady's yard across the street. And I asked their neighbors, they have 70 acres and a pond. Well, it's more like a lake. I asked them if we could ride on their property and they said yes.
Oh, nice.
So
yeah.
we had the best ride yesterday, and that's where those pictures are from. It's gorgeous out there.
You have to clean up when you use someone else's property?
You don't have to, but I do because I appreciate. So if they make a mess, I go back later with my pick and my bucket and I scoop it up.
Nice. All right. Good for you. So how long of a ride is that? Is it an hour? Is it 5 hours?
So right now I'm building because, we went all winter with not much riding. So they have to be reconditioned for longer and more strenuous things. So we spent about an hour.
Yeah. Okay. And he looks.
And I just walk him across the road, which I'm on a 2-lane highway. So
oh man,
my heart stops briefly. And then of course on the way back, I start to cross the road and lights and sirens, a police car comes, barreling down the road.
Yikes.
So
on the donut shop.
Just gave him an extra kick and got him where he needed to be.
But he looks like a really cool horse. He looks kind of, I don't want to use the word fabulous, but maybe magnificent or something. He looks like a very kind of cool looking horse. Was I looking at the right one?
So and I took him to camping where we brought him in the trailer and we camped for 2 nights.
Oh yeah,
with the horses. You just tie him to the trailer.
Wow!
And I had 3 people say, "What a majestic horse!"
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And he's
really
a gentle giant. He's just so sweet.
Nice. Yeah. Al just sent me a note that says, "Anything looks good with a blonde on it." Well, that's inappropriate. Best to Rudy Tooty.
Thank you. It's Rudy Attitude.
Rudy Attitude, right? Also
Yes.
with us.
Lately, I've been calling him Lucifer instead of Lucifer. I've been calling him
Really?
Lucifer.
Lucifer the Hush, man. There's a movie. Also with us up there in Wisconsin as a good friend, Brandy X. Brandy, how are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm great. I'm really jealous that Susan had that great ride. That would have been really fun.
Yeah. The club. Everyone's waiting for
Trying to do the hot.
He's trying. Yeah, we're waiting for the hot. There it is. All right. Yes. It'll be a TV show. So, Brandy, how are you? Everything okay?
Great. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Everything's great. Been outside quite a bit, kayaking and hiking.
Really?
So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Sounds tiring. No.
No, it's really relaxing. And yesterday we were kayaking, and there was this. We were on this lake, this small lake, but there was a road going across this little section of the lake, so we had to go under the bridge from one part of the lake to the other.
Yep.
But we were on the top end, and this bald eagle was like circling with us. It was just going with us, and then when we came under the bridge and came to the other side, it just came over there, and it was just kind of hanging with us the whole time. It was really cool.
Was it waiting for you to throw a fish out or something like that? Maybe.
We thought it was fishing at first, but it kept following us around.
Yeah. Oh, bald eagle. There's got to be some. That's got to mean good luck or something.
I
Have a
think
bald
it's
eagle.
like some kind of a blessing in like Native American
Yeah.
folklore or whatever. It's some kind of a blessing. I'm going to say that's what it is anyway.
I don't know. Have you seen the video on Facebook where somebody's dash cam, somebody's got their toddler, like 18-month-old toddler,
Oh, don't
sitting
say this.
in
Yes.
front of their front door, and a bald eagle swoops down and grabs its clothes, and the dad runs out. I mean, I can't imagine that it could lift that, but apparently they're much stronger than we think they are.
Wow. I hope that was AI and that wasn't for real.
Yeah, really nice. But now you also wrote to me that you went to a Veterans Day ceremony the other day.
Memorial Day ceremony.
Memorial Day. Yep,
yes.
sorry. Yep.
For a veteran. Mm-hmm.
What was
Yes.
that about? What was going on there?
Well, what happened was this, I guess, regiment of people in World War II that was in the Pacific was captured and became POWs. And they were the ones that did the Bataan Death March.
Oh, boy. Yes.
And at some point in their capture, they were all placed on a Japanese carrier to be taken to a different island. And the United States decided they were going to take out that carrier. They didn't know that they had placed the American soldiers, POWs, onto
man.
it. And so they blew up the carrier,
Oh,
including
Jesus.
all of the American POWs.
Really?
And so, yeah, so everybody was unidentifiable and like placed in a mass grave. And just recently with DNA technology, they were able to identify some of the remains as a individual that is from the Northwoods up here. So they had his remains shipped back and under like major regalia. It was so awesome. And escorted from Milwaukee all the way up to the Northwoods,
Wow.
the airport at Milwaukee. And then they had a giant ceremony for him 2 days ago,
Yes.
and had his remains interred here in the Northwoods with his family.
Wow. What a nice gesture. What a
Yeah.
super
In a
duper
way,
gesture.
it's good that it went that way because most of those men did not make it through the march.
Yeah, the Bataan
You know,
Death
so he
March.
got an easy way out, you might say, because many of they suffered terribly.
Horrible.
And,
Yeah, horrible.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if I had a choice, I would have said, "Yeah, put me on that and blow it up," because they suffered really bad,
If
really
you
bad.
if you look at the Japanese surrender years later on the Missouri, and it's MacArthur, there's MacArthur signing the documents, and there's two guys behind him. One's a British officer, and there's another guy, he's skin and bones. And that's the general they left behind in Bataan. And he had him come up and say, "You're going to stand here for this." Because it was really,
General Wainwright was his name.
there was like really horrible, horrible stuff. We're not going to talk about it now because the Japanese are our friends. But back then, wow, And
Yeah.
this guy lived through it, and he was there at the surrender. So that's a good way to say F you, to the Japanese.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, well, that's a really nice ceremony. I'm so glad people, went through so much to honor this guy, honor him, I mean, Jesus. I mean, talk
Yeah.
about dying for
It was
your
amazing.
So, well, listen, talk about amazing. So we're all here tonight, and we're going to have an interesting show, but I think that we're going to dip into the mailbag. Is that true there, Clubby?
It sure is.
Well, you're on there, my man.
I was looking at the Red Sox score. No,
Oh, wow.
sorry.
Why? Why get
No, I
depressed?
wasn't.
Why get depressed now?
No, my mind went blank. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we start,
Yes.
Al, do you want another beer? Yeah. Susan, if you have a chance, okay? Yeah, 2 lights. Yep. Thank you. So you have some mail, some fan mail, right, Club?
Yes, I do, and I'm looking forward to reading it now.
Okay, so I mean, usually we put, this is legitimate fan mail. Let's put it that way. Sometimes we fool around, but go ahead, Club, fan mail for the gang.
Okay, well, I'm going to be real serious here. We have some time to kill tonight, so here's some letters from the mailbag.
Wow, you weren't supposed to.
I wanted to read that.
You weren't supposed to read that. Holy shit. Wow.
No, I wanted it to be, legitimate.
Sincere.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right, please, Club, continue.
Okay. Number one, I want to ask each member of our team who their favorite and least favorite celebrity is.
Wow. Can I say Juan for both? No. Well, why am I? I'm not going to start. You start, Al. Who's your overall
favorite?
likable?
Like celebrity?
Yeah.
I don't know. None of them are. I can't think of one above the others that I think is
Anne Margaret.
Aunt Margaret. Oh my God! Talk about dredging them up out of the. Wow. Let me think. I don't know. I don't.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not in any modern music or anything, so I don't know any of the.
Well, who do you hate? Do we have enough time to go through your hate list?
When I see on TV that makes me sick
Go ahead.
is whenever I see one of the Mannings.
The who?
Mannings, Peyton Manning, and then
man.
now they're hawking.
Thank you, Dave.
Now they hawk anything they can sell.
I agree
there,
with
and I can't stand that.
I agree with you there,
He
man.
just has an arrogant smirk on his face that I can't stand.
But there's stuff, and I'd almost pick those two boneheads. There's almost like a psychological thing that when you see celebrities hawking stuff, you think one or two things. It's a premier product, so you'll see a lot of actresses hawking like perfume,
Makeup
and hair and makeup, and people say, okay, that's cool, okay. But then if you see someone like I saw Tom Brady, he's actually in a commercial for like a barbecue or something.
Okay.
Did you see that? Did you see that, Club? It's like a
Yeah, he's been busy. He needs the money.
he needs the money. That's
Yeah,
what I
he's
mean.
gotta-
You always think, well, they're
I
poor,
think
they
he's
need
paying
money.
support. He's paying support,
Yeah, but he makes about $500 million a year, though. He's getting he's getting $60 million just from Fox to be on 6 games. I mean, he's getting $10 million, and he's terrible anyway.
I don't hold that against these people. I wish I could do that.
Well, it's not that they do.
Probably do it
I mean,
better.
I don't mind that celebrities go out and they hawk stuff, but when I see the Mannings, they'll hawk anything.
I mean, you have to be discreet about what you're hawking.
at
Is
least,
what
at
it
least
is.
make it a product that's believable. Like when you see a lot of these women, like these very glamorous women,
Hang on.
showing you they're doing their hair stuff,
Yes.
and you look at them and go, "When was the last time you did your own hair? That you didn't pay somebody?"
Wow.
I mean, my wife has someone do her hair, so if my wife can afford it, trust me, when I see
Who does her hair? You?
oh, she goes to a hair lady that does our hair.
Wow.
Holy
So
shit. But again, the Mannings, I just can't stand.
I don't like them because that's the thing. It's like like sponsors don't want these people going out and sponsoring 10 different things because people literally get mixed up on what the hell he's talking about. But anytime I see one of those two on, I say, "What is this now? It's pizza. It's this. It's cowboy boots. It's hats. It's enough already."
Insurance.
Insurance, right?
Actually,
exactly.
Another guy who does a lot of that is Shaq.
Shaq does a lot of
He
the
does.
general.
He's in a lot of commercials for different products.
Car insurance.
And for some reason with him, I don't have a problem with it.
I don't either.
I look at him and I go, okay, it's Shaq. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, well, Shaq's a good guy. He's legitimately a good guy. But it's like there's a thing called the Q rating. If you have a Q rating, you're a celebrity, and if you're the number one Q rated person, you get the most money for commercials and stuff like that. For years, it was Bill Cosby, but
Yeah, well, you know who else? Well, the more I think about it, like that guy John Cena.
He's from down the street.
He's from Massachusetts.
He's from West Newbury,
and he was a professional wrestler. So okay, but he right now holds the record for the most Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes.
The kids,
he's done 650 Make-A-Wish things. He'll show up anywhere for a kid that's sick.
Yeah.
And he holds the record by more than double. So, you got to be a pretty good guy to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So that's the thing with celebrities is like you would think you do everything. You know what I mean? Because you're so lucky to be in show business for 1 minute, never mind to have some kind of a career. And if you have some kind of career, you're making a lot of money. So some of them are good and you don't hear about. That's one thing, I was surprised to hear Johnny Carson, okay, for everyone's report, he's a real kind of prick of a guy and just not the best boss in the world, whatever. He wasn't the kind of guy that you saw on TV who was funny. But when he died, he gave away like $200 million. He gave away his personal fortune to charities and stuff. And, he was maybe an a-hole to the end, but, someone made out because of that, benefited from that. So, I just think, if you have a lot of money, if you ever these billionaires like Gates and all these guys, if they gave away 2/3 of their money, they'd never miss it in a way because it's not about how much money you have. It's like what comes with that money, like the power and the prestige and all that stuff. So, anyway, Club, who's your best and worst? He'll say Ian Margaret.
I got to tell you, lately I've been big into some movies, and there's an Irish actor called Cillian Murphy.
Well, that guy, yeah, yep.
I first saw him in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
The one about the bomb.
Yeah.
And boy, he was terrific in that. Well, anyways, I get into this other series, Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. I'm into
which
it
I
too,
highly
man.
recommend. It's 6 years of shows, and
Yeah.
I'm in the last season now. But boy, what a great actor this guy is. He really is terrific.
Yeah, he is. He's very cool, calm, collected, Irish gangster. And I saw a scene the other day in one of them where he goes into a bar. He's very cool, and everyone in the bar just knows who he is. But this one guy comes up and starts giving him trouble, right? And he's you don't want to you don't want to mess with me. Well, the guy messes with him, takes out a gun and puts it to his head. Shelby takes out a hand grenade, pulls the pin, and puts it down the guy's shirt. And the guy runs out, boom. Okay, that's
But anyways, he's
kind of
just
gangster he is.
he's really
He's a good actor.
These newer actors, I like them.
Yeah. No, he's good. Okay, who do you hate?
I didn't. No, it's pronounced Cillian. K. It has a K sound. It's an Irish.
Yes, very Irish.
No, we're having a debate over here between us and North Carolina to our favorite.
Oh, okay.
But no, his name is Cillian. But I'll check that again.
Who do you dislike?
I dislike Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Whoop. Both at the same time. I just like him too. You know why? There's many reasons why, but his music sucks. You know, I mean, it's like the whitest rap you can come up with, and I don't know who likes that. So, yeah, Kid Rock. Though he got a ride in an Apache helicopter the other day. I would like a ride in an Apache helicopter. So anyway, so Club, okay. Yeah, you have those two loaded up. That's good. So
I really, and I highly recommend it if you want to see a good movie, if you can take sort of a dark movie. You know, that Peaky Blinders is really quite a movie, but it's tough. If you don't like violence, then, stay away from it. But if you like good acting, it really is something.
There's a movie called Gangs in New York, which is a terrible movie by Scorsese. It's a lot like that, except it's where is it, in Ireland or England, where that happens, where Peaky Blinders is?
It's in Birmingham, England, but then it moves to Ireland and different Boston.
Yeah, and it's
different things in dealing with the different syndicates, but it's some of it's true.
Yeah,
it goes back to World War I and World War II.
It's like 1900s, early 1900s.
Yeah, these guys coming back from the war with all kinds of mental issues. That's why they are the way they are. But they're very big family related, and But it's just again, it's if you like a good tough movie, it's. I like it. That's all.
It's a series, yeah. Peaky Blinders, it's good, and that guy's good, and that's where he kind of got his start. And he was in Oppenheimer. Now he's like the guy, he's like the actor everyone wants.
But the whole cast, I mean, they've been together for 6 years, and the sad part is the woman who plays his sister in that, she died in real life.
Oh wow, huh?
Of breast cancer 2 years ago. She was married to the other Irish actor who played in Billions.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name, but he's a big actor. But she passed away during the show. She never told anyone.
Wow, really?
She was ill. She had the illness for 4 years.
Wow, and kept it
Never
hidden.
knew it. And after the fifth season, she passed away, and they just devastated.
Wow, that's bad. That's
my God! And the problem is, I knew it. So it was so hard to watch that part every time she's in it.
Yeah.
Knowing that what she was suffering for all those years. And she played a very tough role where she never was very happy. And boy, she didn't have to act on that,
Yeah,
But, but anyways, I don't want to go any further, but it's just he's a different kind of actor, and I like it.
The Irish actors are like a big deal. I don't know, they are now, but back when, like Peter O'Toole and Richard Harris and all these dudes, we've talked about them before, but they had like a reverse Alcoholics Anonymous. So there was 6 of them. It was Richard Harris, Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole, the guy who played Peter O'Toole played Lawrence of Arabia, and 2 more. Oliver Reed was one. So that era of guys, and the thing was, if you hadn't been drunk in a week, they would come and get you and get you drunk. Okay, it's like the reverse of AA. So they would go out for like weeks and weeks, and their family wouldn't know where they were, just starting to bend to these celebrities, and they basically had everything handed to them. They start in London, wind up in Edinburgh or Dublin or something. But they were all Irish actors. I mean, they had this. There was something about them that they were the ones who were better than the English actors. That was the thing. They were the rebels type of thing. The famous story is about Richard Harris. He says to his wife, "I'll be back at 5:00," and she doesn't see him for 2 weeks. And so his brother finally, finds him in Dublin. He lives in London, and the brother says, "You better come home." She's changed the lock. She's changed the security code. So he comes home. He has to scale his fence, his wall, goes up to the door. His key won't get in. He's banging on the door, 2 in the morning. The wife comes down, and she opens the door, and he goes, "Why didn't you pay the ransom?" Okay. Old story.
Wow.
We are killing time.
I mean,
So
the worst thing I ever did was I told my wife I was going to Key West with some friends who were all salespeople.
Wait a second. Now, I know the story. You really want to say
and
this
they were
story?
no, it's fine. It's
Okay.
nothing drastic, but
Okay.
they were all they're crazies, and they all had expense accounts and frequent flyer miles. So we went down to Key West. We hung out for a day, and I told my wife, I said, "Well, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll be back in a while. Don't worry." And so I scrammed, and we went down to Key West, and we were sitting. No, actually, all right. So we were sitting in Key West. And one night we were talking about what's your favorite bar, and one of them said the Buena Vista in San Francisco. So one of the other guys goes, "Well, let's go." And we got out of a plane and went to San Francisco overnight. And so the next time I called my wife, she said, "How's Key West?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm in San Francisco."
Buena Vista has the best Irish coffee.
Okay, best Irish coffee.
What the?
Yep.
Okay. So you get away with that. That's interesting.
Oh
Al.
yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Some of the, I mean, I love my wife dearly, and I don't know how she put up with me, but those were the
No one does.
those were the days. You were young and silly, and
Yeah.
I'd have friends who would say, they'd call me up and say, "Look, we're going somewhere for your birthday. About 8 of us, and meet us at there'll be a ticket at Logan Airport for you.
A ticket.
Go to the Continental counter, and there'll be a ticket with your name on it." And I'd say, "Okay. Where's the ticket going?" "Well, it's going to the hub in Atlanta." I said, "Okay, then where?" "Well, no, that's the surprise. We're not going to tell you." And then I'd have to say, "Well, do I need a passport?"
Surprise.
And they go, "Well, you better bring one just in case." So I'd fly down to Atlanta and pick up these clowns, and we'd take off God knows where. We'd be in Europe, or we'd be in Florida, or they brought me to Disney World for my birthday.
So,
Seriously. Or Amsterdam. It's like,
how many pounds of cocaine were you running at this point? Because it sounds like you're in a shady business.
It was just that these were all salespeople who
Okay.
had more money and more expense account and travel vouchers than brains.
Brandy, we're going to pivot to you. What do you like?
Probably it's so hard to choose one, but I'd say Audrey Hepburn for my like.
Oh, yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Like a upbeat, positive person, did a lot of like social active stuff.
She was
you
in
know.
the Dutch underground, against the Nazis, her and her mother. So
Yeah,
she,
her mother, yeah.
she like Breakfast at Tiffany's, for instance, is a big movie, right? When you watch that movie, first of all, she's almost in every scene. She might be in every scene, but basically she's in every scene, and you can't take your eyes off of her. She's in there's a long scene where they're having a party at their house, and they have like 100 people squeezed into a little room, and it's kind of madcap. Right. And you just watch her go from person to person to person. She's that's where your eye follows, because she's just so beautiful, and just and how she acts is, just, man, I'd love to know her, even though she was a hooker. She was a hooker, but it's okay. We all make
in
mistakes.
the movie. In that movie.
In the And the book is much harder than the movie, but the movie is great. Moon River is the theme, and they play it 6 different ways in it. There's a jazz version. There's a symphonic version. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like her. Who do you dislike?
Really nobody, but I guess if I have to pick somebody's acting style that I don't really care for, let's say, it would be Tom Hanks.
Really? Yeah, you're the only person in the world that doesn't like Tom Hanks.
I probably am, and he's probably a great guy. But something about the acting style, it just doesn't do it for me. But I mean, that doesn't mean he's not a great guy.
Well, what?
Because I don't know. So
now you just cleared the way for Mac to say, what's his name? Tom Cruise. He's going to hate Tom Cruise. Yeah. We know that's going to come right out of his mouth.
That's offensive. Maybe I like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, maybe you do. As far as Tom, I have never seen Forrest Gump, and I refuse to watch that movie. I just cannot stomach the concept of that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of acting involved for sure, but it's an engaging story. I mean, it was when it came out, I mean, because the best thing about that is that it moves quickly. You follow his life very kind of quickly. But there's a lot of acting. You know what I mean?
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, you can tell that he's. But I think he was good in Castaway. He's good because it's just him and the soccer ball. Bridge of Spies is a great movie. Not many people saw it, but he's. I understand he's kind of a very visual kind of. He's a movie star, as opposed to being an actor. And to bring up Al's hero, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is a movie star. The acting is, but people go to a movie because it's Tom Cruise.
I've probably seen
same thing for Hanks.
More of Tom Cruise movies in the past 3 days than I have in the past 3 years. my wife started with Mission Impossible movies, and then did Maverick 2, and then later on I come back and it's Maverick 2 again.
She's trying to send you a message out.
And she's watching there's I don't know how many Mission Impossible movies, and
Really?
she's watching those. I'm like,
See, I can't watch those
I'll
because
go to bed
those.
at night and I'll wake up.
Well, she's watching him, but those plots make no sense at all. They're like,
Yeah, I fall asleep. I wake up and the movie's still on.
well,
Here we go again, Mac.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't like
why-
any entertainment.
no,
It's
that's not true.
entertainment.
That's not true.
Well, I think there's probably 2 or 3 movies in the last 50 years that you have anything good to like.
All right, let me ask you this, okay? Because I knew you would attack me. So,
Benton,
what's the matter?
he's having a nightmare. I'm sorry. I thought it
Okay.
was on mute.
Okay, it's all right. How much of TV do you like, Club? 90%, 80%? How much do you like? How much do you watch?
Mainly sports and movies.
Okay, so would you say that taking all and everything you can get on TV now, do you like 10% of it?
You're throwing it back at me. I'm kind of confused.
No. All right. What I'm saying is that you can't like every movie. Okay,
You don't like any.
but I do. I
can't
like
think of a
well done
movie.
movies. I like movies that are well done.
Well, I must have missed those shows when you talked about ones you like. Because
love
I've
it.
told you, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. is
there
one
you
of the
go.
best.
I know.
The Good, the
No,
Bad, and the
unless-
Ugly is one of the
unless
best
I
movies
know.
ever.
I know you're into the porn thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the acting isn't as good.
There
as
it
the
is.
real-
I love it.
There it is. The A bomb.
There you go. Thank you.
1 minute
Thank
and
you.
12 seconds in.
Well, you left yourself open for that. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
See, not to interrupt, but as far as current TV shows, I know I don't watch any of them. Any sitcom, anything that's got
Yeah,
any
I don't
kind
either.
of canned
I don't
laugh
either.
track,
Yeah.
can't take it.
Right.
Unfortunately, when I go home and if my wife has the TV on, you can tell immediately by the commercials she's watching old people stuff because it's Medicare, there's insurance, there's get a walk-in tub because you're going to fall down and break your neck.
Yeah, Matlock.
Get a stair lift because you shouldn't walk up your stairs.
Yeah.
It's all old people stuff. Old series from when we were kids. And I have never seen if you were to take a list of sitcoms that have happened in the past 15, 20 years, I would probably tell you 99% of them I've never seen.
Well, see,
because
because you don't want to see them. They
Right.
don't interest you.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with movies. You're exactly my point. Is that there are some that are so good that you like them, you want to watch them, and so on. Just like on TV, I know it's going to sound weird, but there's a show called Young Sheldon, who was the Big Bang guy as a kid, and it's actually pretty good. It's not canned laughter. It's not canned laughter. It's not it's not that. It's not a sitcom.
I don't want to psychoanalyze you, but your problem is your training is in movies and theater, and so you look at you go to a movie and you're looking for all these pieces that us normal people, we just want to be entertained. We're not looking to see if something looks phony or this or that. And I understand that. I mean, that's the way you been brought up, but the rest of us, we'd like to watch something and be entertained and not have to look at everything on there and say, oh, look, that's wrong, that's incorrect, he didn't smile right. And I mean, you must have a miserable night when you're forced to see a movie. Must be awful.
Wow. Okay, I accept your apology, Club. Thank you.
Glad you asked.
Real quick, have any of you guys ever seen a movie called Secondhand Lion?
Yeah, with what's his name? The kid from Cambridge. That thing.
It's
Yeah.
Peter, not Peter O'Toole. Who is it? Oh shit.
Secondhand Lion.
Yeah, it's Caine. Michael Caine is in it.
Okay.
And this other guy who's his brother, and that kid who was in I See Dead People. Okay, it's
Oswald or something.
Whatever. But him and those two, and it's a club. I'm telling you what, if you can find it, watch it. It's an entertaining movie, and like you said, I go to a movie, I want to be entertained.
Yes.
And this movie is entertaining. It's very entertaining. Set in the 50s.
I don't want to speak for Mac, but I'm going to say this.
Oh, please, Brandy. Please.
Some of us,
Go ahead.
even though we want to be entertained, we cannot overlook
Yes.
the things that are wrong about things when we watch them. It is like the continuity. I don't know who's getting paid to be the continuity person, but they all need to be fired because
I'm with you.
nothing is ever continuous. It's always messed up.
Right.
Always. And you're just like, how many people saw this before they actually released it and nobody caught this?
No one
What's
changed
wrong with
it.
people?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just, even though you intend to be entertained, you just can't overlook this stuff. It's
Right.
just glaring.
Thank you, Brandy. I'll give you a great
Welcome.
example. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. They made a big deal, 3 or 4 years ago about Peter Jackson's Meet the Beatles, whatever the hell it was. It was a huge thing on Disney. You're going to watch it for 3 nights, and it was basically recovered footage of the Beatles 50 years ago. And if you're a Beatles fan, it was like a big deal. They promoted it as a big deal, and it was a big deal. Okay, and it made them zillions and zillions of dollars. But when sometimes they would have closed caption, because I can't understand British people anymore. I used to be able to, but I can't anymore. So they'd have closed caption when you needed it, okay? But half the time, it's in white, and they're wearing white shirts, and you can't read it. And I sat there and going, as you just said, Brandy, how many people watched this and didn't, I can't read that because he's in a white shirt and it's white? It's baffling to me. Now, I can't sit there and enjoy that. I think it was terrible anyway, but I can't not notice that. I can't not notice it, and it does wreck. Basically, it's got to be really, really good for me to overcome something stupid like that. It's just stupid. Put the closed caption in black,
Right.
so everyone can read it.
Outline.
Oh yeah, something. Yeah,
No, Susan, I haven't heard you
yeah. We're gonna
speak
go to
up
her
in
now.
this debate. Yeah, I just
Susan.
curious.
Now, here's
We're an
My
hour in.
favorite?
your favorite is
My all-time favorite,
Brad Pitt.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Oh wow, okay,
Mm.
interesting choice. Yep. Okay.
Love him and everything he does.
Hmm.
My hater,
Go ahead.
Woody Allen.
Oh yes, okay. Well, okay, because first of all, he went to Epstein's Island. He was like a permanent resident there.
He married his adopted daughter.
His adopted daughter, Mia Farrow's adopted daughter. He married. He's a putz. Okay, I mean, to use the vernacular, he is. And we loved him in film school. Sorry, club, but I did go to film school. And when he was back then, he did Annie Hall, which changed the way movies were made. It really was, it really did. And so after that, we were all acolytes of his. But then he keeps making the same movie over and over. But what happens is, I mean, he's at the end of the train now. But why he made all these stupid movies about tennis and all that stuff is that he would not pay the actors, and there was a certain amount of prestige if you're in a Woody Allen movie. So there's a lot of people who show up in his movies who are big stars in their just little Woody Allen movies, and they play great in New York City and Los Angeles and probably Boston. But, I mean, they're not distributed widely, let's say, okay? But he maintained his name until now, you don't hear him anymore because of the Epstein thing. And, yeah, I agree. I don't like him anymore.
I agree.
I don't like the character.
Days, he was, in his early days, he was a genius.
He was funny as hell.
With some of the, if you looked at some of his earlier movies, there's one, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like in the future.
Yeah, it's, yep.
He lived in this place where everyone was like robots almost.
Right.
And to have sex, there was a booth. You go into this booth.
Yeah. The booth would vibrate.
You go in to get the pictures. You sit in the picture booth by yourself. Well, there's one, and every time you wanted to have sex, you'd had to go into this booth, and you'd hear all this banging and everything. All of a sudden, the door would open, and he'd come out, and his hair would be up, and he'd
smoke coming out of his ears. Yep.
He was just. Some of that stuff was really funny, and
right. What was the name of that movie?
Made a laugh.
We should know that. It was, but that was very, 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 very funny movie.
One of my favorites of his. Yeah.
And like Annie Hall. The thing with Annie Hall was he was able. It was in the 70s. It's a real 70s movie. No one knew who Diane Keaton was really, and she just came across as. Not like how women acted before then, She was, the whole thing, la-di-da, whatever. She was kind of like loosey-goosey, whatever. And it just changed the way actresses, played their parts after that, And that's a big deal. And like I say, we were enamored with him. But, but it ended quickly, though.
Never saw a thing he did.
Yeah. Early stuff is funny. Yep.
Thank you, Susan. Sleeper.
You're a creeper.
Sleeper is the word. Yeah, Sleeper.
If you haven't seen that movie,
Sleeper.
Yeah, that's a funny movie.
Some night when you're depressed,
yeah,
there's no way you can watch that movie and not get knocked out of it because it's just.
Yeah.
Even today, it's probably 50 years ago.
Oh, easy.
Do you remember what that sex booth was called?
No.
No. What was it?
The Orgasmatron.
Oh, sure.
You could probably buy one.
I've used that word once, yeah.
Yeah, people were going out looking to try to buy them.
Yeah. Wow.
Where's Juan when we need him?
Anyway,
a guy that I worked for had a BMW brought over from Europe. Big money BMW. It was a gray market car, didn't belong in this country. And I went over and looked at it. It was a gorgeous, big BMW cruising machine, but it had red leather Recaro power seats in it. And they were gorgeous. They had a control panel on the side for all the adjustments.
Good.
And this was a sleek, gray businessman's car with those seats in it. And I remember walking over and looking at them, and I said to him, where did they get the Orgasmatrons? Where did those seats come
I was waiting for when that was going to come.
And I used to say to him on a very regular basis, if you ever walk out to that car after work and there's no front seats in it, look in my car because I'm going to steal those bastards. Why. And they were beautiful. Oh, my God. They were probably $7,000 a piece. They were stunning little red leather.
I don't want to pop the balloon, but maybe you should put the black light on those.
Well, I tell you what, if I'd had them in my car, it would have been a different story.
Wow. Okay. TMI. So have we done? So we didn't do mine. Okay. Sorry.
We're saving
we can't wait.
Yeah. We're saving the inevitable for last.
The second Top Gun movie, if you remember, because we had the big fight there about 2 years ago, and I actually said I liked the second half of that movie. I hated the first half because it's like, Tom playing ping pong, Tom playing volleyball, takes his shirt off, they oil him down. Who cares? It's so old and stupid. I know anyway. So, but the second half, when they go off on the mission, it's really kind of cool because, I hate to say it, but it's like a wingman book in a way, And It wasn't
the
bad.
question was not about the movie.
Okay, all right.
It was about, you're getting off on a tangent again.
Who I don't
to
like.
say it.
All right, who I don't like in the movies. I don't like. Well, I know. Will Ferrell. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Not funny. Never funny. He just is riding this wave of SNL people who aren't funny either. Chevy Chase isn't funny. He was funny for 1 year when he was falling all over the place, all right? But he went out, and because he had his name SNL attached to it, I guess he's supposed to be funny. I've never seen anything that he is really, hilarious. And he was okay in Community, but he got, fired from that for being, racist and, offensive and stuff like that. He's just a jerk. However, fun fact, who's the original drummer for Steely Dan? Wow, no one knows. Yeah, Chevy Chase
Really?
was the first drummer. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't like Chevy Chase, and I don't like Will Ferrell, Will Ferrell's like Chevy Chase 2.0. A good actor, Anthony Hopkins is a great, pick because when you think of the stuff he's done, and he's done a lot of movies, he's really good. Who you talk about an entertaining movie? I saw the Hail Mary Project, Project Hail Mary. Did anyone else see that? Did you see it, Brent? No, you haven't seen
But
it.
it's still on pay. If they want, you got to pay $19 for that one.
Is it on streaming?
I'll wait till it's free. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it in the movies, and that guy's name is he's one of
Ryan
those
Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Okay, he's a really good actor. He is. The movie isn't perfect, but he once again he's in every scene. He has to carry every scene, and he plays like 4 or 5 different people because it's kind of like a long kind of timeline. He's really good. He's a good actor, and to do that and it's not a short movie, and I'm sure there's like a lot of special effects in it and stuff, and it's very much like Castaway, where instead of a soccer ball, he makes little buddies with someone who is not of this earth, and he's kind of like a reluctant hero type thing, but he plays that very, very well. So he's a good actor. That guy's a good actor. And then who's the other guy? Ryan. He's a big Phillies fan. Ryan.
Reynolds.
What is who?
Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds? Yeah. No, I don't know him.
Reynolds? Ryan Gosling?
Ryan.
Ryan Reynolds.
The guy from Mint Mobile?
Yeah. Who's that guy?
Reynolds, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, not him. The other guy who's a big Philly. He's a big Philly Eagles fan. Anyway, but who's a really good actress who, for some reason, people don't like. And if Juan was here, he'd probably agree with me. Jennifer Lawrence. Ever see stuff she's in?
Yeah, she's fine.
I mean, really,
She's okay.
she kind of gets it in a way.
Cat piss.
What?
Her name in the Hunger Games is Katniss. So I just call her Cat Piss.
All right. That's offensive, Al.
But she's good in it. I mean, I got no problem with it. Don't Look Up. She's
Yeah,
in
that's
that.
terrible movie, man. That is like one of the worst movies ever made.
She's in it.
She's in that, yeah. But she's in something called the where she has to be in a dance, and that other Ryan guy is a cook, and he dances with her. Something about a notebook. Anyway.
No idea.
Oh yeah, I liked her in that. That was one of her earlier movies.
Yeah, right.
It's
Yeah.
Ryan Philippe.
Philippe?
Right. What is it?
Right,
Who?
Philippe?
No. I'm
No,
sorry.
not in
that's
this one. This one is
It's
different.
maybe
That's
his
the
name
one where
is
he was a big fan of the Pittsburgh or some team.
right. Yeah, he is in real life. Yeah, and she just like bugs him. He's just broken up with his wife, and she bugs the hell out of him. No, that's not him. Who's that guy? That looks like. She finally gets him to agree to dance with him, and it's really weird because for most of the movie you don't think it's going to be like a romantic movie because they're very kind of different people who can just dance. That's all.
Well, he had emotional
Bradley
issues.
Cooper you're talking
Bradley
about?
Yes,
Cooper, yes,
Bradley,
okay.
good one.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, but he had emotional issues in that. That was
right,
the
yeah.
problem,
And she
And she got him straight.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but she does it. It's very unsentimental the way she does it. Is she? I don't know. I like her. I think she's beautiful, and also she's a good actress. He's a good actor. That's it, man. What am I going to say? Charlton Heston.
There you go.
Yeah, you know how stupid he was. No, There's a fun
I
fact.
know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Okay, so
He's been dead, what, about 50 years?
it's okay. So what? Too soon? So he plays. He's in Ben-Hur. I know. We're killing time, so I'm telling the story again. And they build a Roman arena for the chariot race. I mean, literally build a racetrack, and they bring him down the day before.
It's a Cecil B. DeMille
Right.
epic.
Yeah, it has to be
There's
big.
thousands and thousands of extras.
So they bring him down the day before to show him the B-roll, which is all the stunt drivers, racing in the chariots, and then the next day they're gonna film him, but there'll be a truck there and it's a fake chariot and so on, right? So they show him what it's like, and he says to Cecil B. DeMille, "I don't think I can win this." Okay. Yeah, read the script. Joe.
Okay. A movie that I don't know if any of you guys have seen.
Good.
It's called The Hitman's Bodyguard.
That's a good movie.
And
Yes.
it's Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds, and Samuel Jackson. And Jackson is hysterical.
Yeah, that is. I saw that movie.
And there's a
actually pretty
second
good
one.
movie.
There's actually a number 2 of that also,
Mm-hmm.
which it goes to the next step.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. The girlfriend is Penelope Cruz, maybe.
Oh yes. Okay.
And her and Jackson become girlfriend and boyfriend in this barroom brawl. It is the funniest thing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's hysterical.
See, that's a good kind of. I hate to say a little movie, but it's a good kind of. You go see it. You're entertained. It's funny. It doesn't have any stupid flaws in it or whatever. Did you see Barbie? No. Don't look at me like you've never heard of
Barbie?
it.
No,
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Zero interest.
Well, there were 2 Barbies,
That's
Excuse
okay.
me.
I didn't see either one of them.
What do you mean?
Okay. One was in the adult area.
What, Barbie Does Dallas? What? No, I never saw it.
Heck,
I didn't see it either,
how
but
old
I
is
know
that?
Matt
Yeah,
did.
sure. Yeah. Okay. Barbarella. Remember that?
Sure.
Jane Fonda. Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
That's where Duran Duran came from.
Excuse me. What
The
do you mean?
name Duran Duran for the band.
Okay,
They stole
yeah.
it from Barbarella.
That's in
She was-
Barbarella.
They were
Really?
looking for Duran Duran.
Oh,
That's
wow.
who she was looking for the whole time of the movie.
Wow. Yeah, huh? You know where Steely Dan comes from? Okay. You don't want to know. Anyway, let's take a break, Al. What do you say? You're the producer.
You want to give it
tonight.
a shot?
Yeah, okay.
How are we doing for time?
And then we're going to come back. Yeah. How are we doing?
We're about
okay.
an hour.
Yeah,
An hour
yeah.
in. Well,
Why not, right?
we're in an hour now.
And then Brandy has a report for us. Oh, wait a minute. Did we finish the emails
No,
there?
we've got a bunch of them.
All right.
So,
We still got another
I
hour.
think
Go
that
ahead.
was the first one.
Yeah. Was that the first one?
Yes.
Holy.
yes.
We took an hour. For
What
the
is
first-
2? Maybe we might have to edit these.
I'm kind of confused on this one, but
Go ahead.
I'll read it anyway. What is the correct spelling of one Justin Juan's name?
Okay. We get this a lot. What is
there
the
a
correct
typo
spelling?
in there?
Yes. Yeah, that's me. I'm dictating it, and the microphone didn't hear me correct.
Oh,
Juan
wow.
Juan is, people think Juan is like wonton soup. WON, right? He gets emails all the time. WON, WON.
WON.
Yeah, like wonton soup, But it's Juan as if,
It's like Juan.
yeah, Juan.
Juan.
Right,
Spanish.
Right. Spanish, right. What is it?
Juan.
JUAN dash.
Don't you? And excuse me, but you call him JJ all the time.
Right.
Thank you,
Right.
Susan.
What, is that confusing?
Well,
Good
no,
point.
but we don't call him WW, right? It's JJ. Anyway, Number three.
Well, I just had to say that's kind of, in a way, though, it's insulting to the listeners
Well,
because you're basically saying, "Hey, there's two J's. How could you call them anything else?"
we're just reading the email there, Club. What's number?
We don't
number
need an
three?
editorial. We just
Really?
want to read.
Wow.
Well, you said we got a lot of time. So.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, we ready for the next one? They only get better.
Go ahead. Oh boy.
Okay, now what we want to do now is to explain again the idea of that if you were on a planet 44 million years from Earth, you could look back and see the dinosaurs.
Right. Actually, I'm going to throw this to Brandy because we talked about this before, and then you had to miss the show. I mean, what one of our listeners wrote to us was this: is that he heard our show, where we mentioned this is a few months ago, where that if like the dinosaurs were on Earth, let's take 200 million years ago, okay? If you were able to get to a planet 200 million light years from Earth, because light travels a certain amount in one year. I mean, it's a crazy amount. That like, all right, you have to start with like this. When you look up at the stars, that light from that star has left, in some cases, thousands and thousands of years ago, and has just happened to hit you at that point. Okay. When you're looking out of space, you're looking into a time machine. You're looking how the universe used to be. No matter where you look at this part of the sky, is a different time, whatever. Okay, so if you go to a planet that's 200 million light years from Earth, you have a telescope, and you're able to look back on Earth, you will see the dinosaurs because you're looking back in time, basically. So, which I thought was great. But then he said, so I think, what if you were on a planet that's just 44 years away, and he's 44? He says, I'd be able to look back at myself. And he's right.
Sure.
He's right. And so that means, really, Brandy, you should take it from here, how it never ends when you really think about it.
Right.
Go ahead. Right. We got an hour to kill here, my friend. But no, you explained it very well, that no matter what, just as long, what happens on Earth right now to us, right? Then the probability exists that if you're able to be on a planet with a telescope that powerful to look back, you will see us, whether we're dead or alive or whatever. It all depends.
Exactly. Yeah. So it will always, no matter what distance, you will always be a distance from something that it will always be able to be seen. Mm-hmm. And so nothing will ever really be dead. Right? Isn't that what we said?
Yeah, you'll always be visible, no matter what. No matter what. If the person is on that planet with that telescope and looking back, they will see you. They will see you. So nothing really dies. It's very interesting.
Well, but if you look in that telescope today,
yes, right,
and you see 250 million years ago,
right,
and someone's alive, the next day you look in the telescope again, they may have gotten killed overnight, and they're not there anymore because you're both moving at the same
right.
speed.
So then you go to a planet at $251 million. You know
right,
what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
There will always be a spot where they'll be able to look back and see you.
If you're at the right time, right place,
Yes.
you will. Yes, and
so how does anything die? Think about that for a second.
well, the image of you,
right? The image will
you're
be there,
dead, but your image is still
forever.
projecting. Like radio waves go out.
Right? Yeah.
And, you could probably, if the right space right now, you could probably tune in WBCN in 1969 and listen to the hippies.
Well, one of the first things that's out there is like Howdy Doody show and the First Today show.
I Love Lucy.
Like oh God! See, any alien who said I Love Lucy, we don't want to go there. They're all freaking morons.
Or they go to the moon, Alice.
Yeah,
and they go, oh, look, they do space travel.
That's offensive,
right?
Anyway. Yes. Okay. So hopefully we've kind of described that, but Star
Trek did it really well.
Did they do that? Really?
Yeah, because
We stole the yacht from
they
him?
were
He
on
went to warp speed.
they went to a planet that that guy Trelane was on,
Mhm.
and he was looking back through his telescope, and he saw
Right.
he thought we were still in the
Like the
like
West.
the French wars, the French,
Okay.
and he came out in all the regalia.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah. That's
you know,
funny.
and they had a castle with all the food laid out, and he thought we were still in that era, but he didn't take into account it was from so long ago.
So, a fun fact about Star Trek. In the second year, it was only on for 2.5 years, really. So, in the second year, they cut their budget like incredibly. So that means, not a lot of costumes, not a lot of this, not a lot of that. So what happens is you see them, beaming down to like the Western planet,
Yeah,
okay?
sure.
The Nazi planet, the
Mhm.
gangster planet, because they could then use props that were already there, So when you think about that, that is just there you go. There's really good TV making because they were given this awful kind of burden, and they made the best of it. Now people think those are classic shows.
Yeah, that's some of the
the
best.
gangster shows.
Some of
everything.
this piece of the action.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's the best. It's the best episode.
But it's
they made.
almost funny. But there's always that thing at the end. That kind of uplifting message that Gene Roddenberry put at the end of each one. He used to smoke a lot of weed. That is another fun fact. So anyway, yeah. So Star Trek is good, and that's how we explain that.
I don't know if you saw very recently. I was watching something on TV, and William Shatner was sitting on a couch, like I don't know what, eating chips or doing something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, another
And
guy.
it shows over next to him is the Gorn
Oh
that
yeah,
he
okay.
fought on in that planet.
It's a big Super Bowl commercial, right?
And they got
years
up and
ago.
they actually started fighting again. But now they're like both 95 years old, so they're all in slow motion.
We had the Goran on our show years ago. Yep. He was on. We had contact with the Star Trek encyclopedia people, and he was on. Good old guy, real cowboy type guy. And he said that when we made that, William Shatner just kind of shows up to do his scene, right? He says, it took me like hours and hours of putting the makeup on. It's like 90 degrees. They're in the Death Valley and stuff, But he was a nice guy, good guy, man. Okay, so next, please, Club. 1 hour and 9 minutes.
All right, we have another one from the mailbag.
Good.
Well, anyways, this is a question. The question is, whatever happened to the adult film that Brandy and Susan were going to star in?
Oh, wow. No.
I believe that was an Eastern Europe production.
I think it's in editing.
Okay, well, who's going to, Al, you're their manager, so are you going to,
I think there's contractual issues, and it may never.
I signed an NDA. I can't help
see,
you.
she
Yeah,
can't.
I don't think it's ever going to make it out of the can.
Oh, but hang on. Brandy's waving her hand. Brandy, do you want to give us a statement, or? No.
Maybe we were still negotiating our salary.
There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, there's a joke there, but that's okay. So that answers that question. Next, please, Clubby.
Yeah, it's painful, but we'll go to the next one.
All right.
All right, number 5. Is there such a thing as a corporate, ? Big honey?
Honey industry. Okay, we talked about this earlier. Al's the expert on bees. So someone said to me the other day, where does the honey, jarred honey, come from? It can't be just from people like Al, who has 3 or 4 hives. So is there a big honey, like this big salt, big oil?
Yes, there is.
Big honey. Okay. How do they do it?
There is honey is a very, very money making industry.
Yep.
You buy, like, let's say you were going to make cereal that had honey on it. I don't want to name any.
And there,
names.
honey on Cheerios.
You would end up with, you would be buying 55-gallon drums of honey on the
big.
international market, and they would blend it with other honey. So what ends up happening, like this, in this country, there are major corporations that have trailer truck loads of beehives. They stack them, they put them on trailer trucks,
Yep.
and they'll bring them to California, and they'll pollinate the pecan.
Or the
orchards.
almonds or whatever.
And then
yeah.
the almonds,
Yep.
And then they'll take them, they'll drive them cross country on the back of a trailer truck and
The
do
bees.
the apples, and they'll do cranberries.
Right. Right.
So the people that own these farms pay so much per hive per week or whatever to have those hives sitting in their orchards,
Right.
pollinating their fruit.
Doing the work for them, basically.
Right.
Yep.
So what ends up happening is that the companies that own all these bees, they make so much per hive for having them sit there for however many weeks, and then they pack them up and take them to the next place. But when they pull the honey supers off, they keep the honey. So that's sort of a byproduct that they don't pay for,
Yeah.
but they get to sell it.
And then they sell it. Yeah. Yeah.
But what's really interesting is the market right now is so full of fake honey
Fake honey.
that
I mean,
you would
seriously,
be seriously
synthetic?
fake,
Yeah.
synth-
Just sugar. Yeah.
sugar water.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if it's still in effect, but at one point you could not buy Chinese honey in the United States, and it couldn't be shipped here because
I think
it was
Robert
generally-
Kraft would differ with you. But hey, listen, think about it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
but there's certain countries you cannot buy honey from because it's so adulterated that you can't do it. So there are countries out in the Asian area
Go ahead.
that probably have 5% of the beehives in the world, but they export 90%
Of the honey.
of the honey. So they're buying, in effect, Chinese or other diluted honeys and then repackaging them as theirs and then selling them.
Yep. Some of them are pretty bad. Some of the, because usually we're, using your honey, but when we found out, some of it is like really, really, you can tell the difference, But when you think about it, how much honey is consumed every day around the world? I mean,
Brutal.
it's
amazing.
everywhere.
It's amazing how much. And the way it goes is you can't, like, the United States has tests they put the honey through to make sure it's real honey.
Yeah.
And they can bounce out a good majority of it, but it's like a game of cat and mouse because they can come up with something else, way to hide it, and then we have to catch up and figure out what that is.
Oh, the honey cops.
Even
Honey cops.
if you, like, in my hives in my yard, if once I put the honey supers on, that are the boxes I'm going to pull off,
Go ahead.
once I put them on the hive, I can't feed the bees anymore. I can't put sugar water near that hive because if I do, they'll start packing that away and make honey out of it.
Right, yeah.
So it'll taste like honey and it'll look like honey, but if you analyze it, it's sugar water. And it doesn't require the bees to go out and
Work.
get the ingredients. You're supplying it to them, and they're just packing it away, and, and metabolizing it. So there is big honey. Is billions of dollars in it.
Big honey. That's funny.
Big honey.
Yeah.
And again, if you go to a grocery store and you look at all the honey on the shelf, pick up the jar and look, and it'll tell you country of origin. And by looking at that, you'll be able to tell pretty much
Buy American.
whether it's legit or not. And the other thing about honey you buy in the supermarket is it's pasteurized.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, which is right. Why? Why do they
well,
do that, though?
For the USDA, it's a health thing.
Yeah, but it really robs it of its all. It's really good stuff.
It kills all of the nutrients in it.
Yeah.
So if you ever have a chance, if you have a choice, buy raw natural honey from local beekeepers.
Like Al.
Or, you drive down the street. And you see
They
this-
do have. Yeah, they do.
And
in
the
our
place,
area.
the place that I buy my supplies from, the bees and the wooden boxes and
Go ahead.
any, the jars even, he has probably 300 hives spread out across, the North Shore of Massachusetts. And he sells honey. You can go in there and buy a 5-gallon bucket
Yeah.
if you're really really want to. And like I could, if I wasn't scrupulous, let's say, I could go to his place and buy
Hang on.
2 5-gallon buckets of his honey, bring it back to my house. I could pour a 1-pound jar of my honey into it and mix it and say product of Plum Island because that's where it's bottled.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with the honey, but it didn't come from 99.9% of it didn't come from my house. I blended it there, but I bottled it there. So that's why when you look at it, where's it? Country of origin on the label.
Yes.
Will tell you a lot.
Come out.
Why would I want to buy local honey when it's unpasteurized and risk my health?
I have never in my life heard of anyone getting sick from honey.
Well,
And all of
because
the
they
good
die
things,
and they don't. You never know.
Yeah, but
it.
I've been eating his honey for
all
12
of,
years.
all of the good nutrients in
Look
the
at me.
honey, you kill it off
yeah,
by pasteurizing
Yeah, it's
it.
not.
So
good to
it's-
You sound like Robert F. Kennedy.
Well,
There you go.
Does he really?
No, I'm not even going to go there.
hang on. No.
No.
Hey, everyone. We're here with.
Nope.
I thought I'd get the devil. Man, where is the devil there?
Page 2. Here it is. You want raw honey. You don't want anything. And you, I mean, some places
Don't buy
even.
that little plastic bear in the bottle.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Well, that's again. Look at where it comes from. On it, it should say what it's a product of.
It's adorable, though.
But yeah, I can buy those. I can bottle mine in those if I want to buy them.
Well, listen, honey. All right, that's good. All right, next time you have a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios, which I love, I'll remember that. It's probably from
'Cause you don't know-
Sri Lanka or something.
I don't know where they're buying their honey now, but they blend it. And
Yes, it's like blended whiskey.
I've
in a way.
seen movies where they actually there's a. I don't know if it's on Netflix or there was something about
I hope not.
honey and the bees, the whole thing about honey and bees.
Yeah,
and
bees
it
are.
shows where all this adulterated honey's coming from, and they don't pull any punches. They tell you right where it's coming from, and how bad it is.
Maybe you want to get that pasteurized. Who knows? So listen, let's move on. Club, is that the end of the mailbag?
Almost.
Okay, almost.
Yeah. So hang in there. Last but not least.
Okay.
What's this one say? Oh, hey Mac, have you gotten over your lamb trap fetish yet?
Once again, that's a harassing email.
Love, Mom.
Supposed to be lamb chop. I made a mistake a couple of years ago to say when I was growing up, I had a thing for Sherry Lewis. All right,
Oh,
she
sure.
was cute.
Sure. And she
You
gets those
have
little
one of her
hand puppets.
dolls.
No. Well, that no. See, that's right away.
And what?
And sends people for years been sending me like lamb chop dolls. Okay, which is embarrassing. And my sister-in-law gave me one for Christmas once. Okay, throws it down the ground and her Rottweiler like
They're dog
pulled
toys.
it apart in front of me.
They are dog toys.
Yeah, they are dog toys. To eat.
I mean, my niece's husky had a lamb chop. He would not
Really
chew
give
it up. It was his baby. He brought it to bed with him and stuff. He really loved that thing. But,
Okay, that's good to know. So anyway, when I wrote that one, I thought we'd have time to kill, but no
Sherry
longer. So
Lewis.
why don't we do this? Yeah, she was cute. She was. It's just like young. See. Oh my cow. Okay. Now it's got time. Let's take a short break. We can come back. Brandy is going to have a report on Rasputin, and which I think we need right now. So why don't we do this? Let's listen to these commercials, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Mack Maloney's Middle Track Session. No 1-1 tonight, girls. Sorry, but taking his place is Uncle Al and Kitty's pal, Al Ronaldo.
Hey, Mac. Hello, everybody. What's happening?
You know, if they're still with us after that first hour and 21 minutes,
Then we'll know it's.
we've done something. Yes,
Well, we've been educational. We've been
we'll see.
funny. We've been.
I always think it's going to be evidence later. It's just me. Also with us, talking about evidence, is our security chief, Willie Clubb. Willie, WC.
Hey, Mac, it's good to be here tonight. And, there's a lot in that mailbag that we covered. And
Yes.
it's good to learn, how some of the team here feel about, certain things in society.
Right.
It was very good. Opened up my eyes. I wasn't aware of certain things. And
Hey,
so we got to do it again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as soon as my mother sends another email, we will do it. Nice of her to bring up my Sherry Lewis thing. You know, I'd watch her from a crib. I mean, I'd literally be in a crib and she'd turn the TV on. And
Well, there was Sherry Lewis. There
Sherry
was Miss
Lewis.
Jean
yeah,
from Romper
yeah.
Room. There was
It was like, I grew up listening, Take Your Hand Out of Your Diaper, Little Mac.
who else was there? It was
Who was Mr. Green Jeans? That was
it was
Captain
Captain
Kangaroo.
Kangaroo. And then,
Yeah.
then there was
Fun fact is
Big
real
Brother
bad
Bob Emery,
alcohol.
And
Who
then
got
there was,
thrown off the air, right?
Bozo the Clown.
Bozo was on Bozo twice.
Yeah.
On Bozo twice.
And
Who was my sister?
Rex Trailer.
Rex Trailer was a teacher at our film school, believe it or not.
And then there was
Full of
Major
fun
Muds.
facts. Major Mud was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Major
later
Mud,
on, after our time, was Wee Willie Whistle.
Yeah.
I never got. I was not a.
Feep. Remember Feep?
Oh yeah,
You had to
Creature
go
Feature. Yeah,
with the ping pong head. Yeah.
Creature Feature on
Creature
Channel
Feature.
56.
Excellent, man.
And then
Excellent.
Creature Double Feature.
Yep.
All the old bad, horror movies from the 50s with the giant animals,
Yeah.
like the nuclear ants and the big rabbits.
Well, them, yeah, big
Oh, my
rabbits.
God,
None of
yeah,
the
wow. Night of the Lupus and
none of the lupus, right? Yeah,
Cyclops.
yeah. The big praying mantis, Attack of the Giant Mantis.
Yep.
And there used to be that show, Science Fiction Theater, Mystery Science Fiction Theater,
Yep.
which was out years ago, but it would be two robots and a guy, and they would comment on these old movies, which was hilarious back then.
Like Elvira used to.
Like Larry who?
Elvira.
Oh, Elvira, yeah. It's another show. Also, so thank you, Club, for being with us. Also with us down there in North Carolina is our favorite fan, super fan, Susan K. Susan.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here.
And her cat, this creepy cat. Look
Look at her looking at you.
I didn't know it's me, though. Is it really me?
She doesn't come over here unless she hears your voice.
Oh, my goodness.
Susan, you ought to take a little piece of masking tape and black Sharpie it and put it on the cat. It looked just like Hitler.
She has
Look
a
just
little
like Hitler?
mustache.
He does have a tiny one, but
Holy.
a little more, it would be. You'd be afraid he's going to go out and conquer the world or something.
You know that Hitler, you brought him up, was at one point diagnosed with colossal flatulence. Okay. That was actually the medical term, right? Because oddly enough, he didn't drink. He took a lot of drugs.
He did.
But he was a vegetarian. He believed that eating lots of broccoli and stuff, so bad they would clear out beer halls. Wow. Anyway.
Real
So
quick,
you brought up Hitler, so
all
they
right, one last thing about Hitler.
can't be funny. Go ahead.
You know how there's an International 420 Day
Yes.
where everybody, it's about smoking pot.
Yeah, so they
That's-
say. So the
that's-
kids say. I've
Well,
never heard
that's
that.
supposed to be Hitler's birthday.
420?
April 20th is supposed to be Hitler's birthday.
Okay.
So it's not only a stoner's holiday; it's the Führer's birthday.
He also
He committed suicide on April 30th.
did he? Yeah. Okay. He what did he wait so long for? Think about it. He is also the most successful author ever because he wrote Mein Kampf and he made everyone in Germany buy one, and in the royalties from that, believe me, even back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, Al, for bringing Hitler up.
Jawohl.
And involving my cat.
Yeah, you can't miss with Hitler. Also with us, why she stays with us, I don't know. Is a good friend up there in Wisconsin, Brandy X. Brandy, how are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm here because I love you all.
Do you know? Let me paint the picture. Yeah. All right, stop. All right, Club. She looks a little bit. I don't want to bring Sarah Palin up. She was very attractive years ago. We're talking about now. You look like Sarah Palin after you just got off the sailboat or something. Al, right? What do you say?
Well,
Put the porn down.
it's funny.
Pay attention.
It's funny because Susan asked her earlier if she cut her hair.
Yes.
Because the first thing I noticed was the hair was a lot shorter.
Yeah,
but
different.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm not stupid. Because those are questions you don't ask women. did you do something with your hair? But Susan said, did you cut your hair? And she said, no, it's just up. And when she turns sideways, it's pulled up. So,
oh, wow. Oh,
see? Now, you didn't even notice that, did you?
Well,
see?
now I do.
Right.
And listen.
So,
No.
Well, Susan notices everything.
She does. She's good.
Wow.
Susan's a woman. Women notice things. Us guys, we're creatures of habit. We don't know.
Well, she's alert, I guess is a good word. She's
There you
alert.
go. But yeah, I did see the hair, and I thought to myself, wow, she cut her hair. But,
Okay.
And I didn't say anything, so Susan straightened it out so I didn't have to.
But why wouldn't you say anything? Why wouldn't you just say, like, a new hairstyle?
Because, it's funny. Sometimes women do something with their hair, and then they decide they hate it, and someone else brings it up, and they go, thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
You did the right thing.
Actually,
Yes.
there you go. When we were kids,
Thanks, Susan.
when we were kids, I had shoulder length hair,
Here she is.
and my wife had a pixie. Okay.
Oh
So-
my God! You look at, and there is a resemblance. Come on,
yeah.
there is. But in a okay, all right, yeah. Go ahead, please. Al.
Through your mind's remembrance eye, when I was a kid, we were hippies. We had long hair,
Good.
so I had shoulder length hair, and my now wife at the time had cut her hair and had a pixie, so she had 60s chopped, and I made a deal with her back in the 60s. I said, I'll make a deal with you. You keep your hair, let it grow out, and I'll cut mine. So, but as soon as you cut your hair, I'm going to grow mine back out. So this went on for years and years and years and years. And now it's at the point where I look at her and I say, go ahead and cut your hair because I'm going to look really stupid with a ponytail and a big bald spot and shit,
We agree with you, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I would look really
All right.
terrible.
Okay.
So,
Wow, huh? Once again, the Vatican. I already have the letter written. Okay, all I have to do is sign it and mail it.
hey, we're married. That's legit.
So this is it tonight, and luckily, Brandy has a report on Rasputin, right?
I do.
And this
Yes.
guy, this Rasputin is really a very, very strange story. Please, Brandy.
And a very misunderstood person, I might
really?
add.
Yeah, he had feelings. Yeah, he's a person. Go ahead.
Okay, so the sources for today's report are Father Oleg Malenko of the Church of St. John the Theologian, bizcath.org, the book A Life for the Tsar by Russian historian Oleg Platonov, and the book The Great Mysteries of the Unexplained by Doncaster and Holland. And before I get started, I want to just make a disclaimer to anybody who speaks Russian. I'm going to apologize that I will probably mispronounce something,
That's okay.
person's name or place name. So
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry in
But
advance.
they're fun names, though. You can mispronounce them; they still sound Russian.
They do.
Good.
Okay, so Rasputin was a peasant holy man who was a mystic who became the confidant of the Russian royal family and who was later accused of moral and political misconduct and of causing the collapse of the Russian Empire.
Nothing
He was
less.
vilified. What's that?
Nothing less than causing the
Right.
collapse of the Russian Empire.
Right.
Just when they did not need to be collapsed. Go ahead, please.
He was vilified, and he ultimately was used to incite the Bolshevik Revolution. So before we get into the facts about Rasputin, I just wanted to put you in the time frame and just mention the Romanovs. And this will tell you why Rasputin gained the reputation he did. At the turn of the 20th century, Russia was a patriarchy under Tsar Nicholas Romanov II, who did not want to be Tsar, but he was the successor. He was also, as Tsar, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church. And so the royal family was very religious. His wife, Tsarina Alexandria, was the German-born granddaughter of Queen Victoria of England.
Cool.
And the Tsar and Tsarina were godparents to Edward VIII, who is the British Duke of Windsor, who was who abdicated his throne to marry the American double divorcee
Right. Yes.
in the 30s.
Right.
So they were his godparents.
See, they talk about the hillbillies being interbred. I'm sorry. This is exactly what these people did. This is why
Yep.
World War One broke out, as their own cousins. Go ahead.
Yep. Tsarina Alexandra was not favored by the Russian people from the get-go because she was German, and later because she had a lot of trouble producing a male heir. She had 4 daughters consecutively, and it was getting really tense. Like, everybody was really worried that she wouldn't have a son.
Wow.
And if she didn't, that would be the end of 300 years of Romanov rule.
Wow.
So finally, she did have a son. But unfortunately, because of her genetic line through Queen Victoria, she was a carrier of hemophilia, which is carried through females but passed on to males. So her son was a hemophiliac, which was a potentially deadly weakness that they had to hide from the Russian people.
If you get cut, you just don't stop bleeding, basically.
Your blood lacks the clotting agents, and that could be even internally. And that was where the real scare came, because you wouldn't even know you were bleeding internally, and it could kill you.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the dynamic that was happening when Rasputin came about. So Rasputin was born Gregory Efimovich Rasputin in 1865 or 1869. In the western Siberian village of Pokrovskoye. And he was the 5th of 5 children who was born to illiterate peasant farmers. And there has been a propagandized rumor that the surname Rasputin was given to him later in life and meant like the debaucherous one. But actually, according to this Russian historian Oleg Platonov, it was actually the family's surname, and it was a very common Siberian surname, and it comes from the root Russian word Rasputanya, or something like that, close to that, which meant crossroads. And so it was given to people whose farms and families lived near the crossroads.
And they're not necessarily debauchers. You know?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
What fun is that?
Well, okay. We can always count on you. Please, go ahead.
Well, what's really interesting is that this whole crossroads reference really puts more of this magical element into Rasputin, I think, because a lot of supernatural things are said to occur at crossroads.
Right.
So the fact that that was his name even makes it even all the more supernatural.
Right. Yeah. Yep. That's where guitar playing started.
Yes.
The crossroads. Yeah. With
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson. Right.
Yes. Okay. So Rasputin grew up illiterate, with a hard work ethic and within the strict religious practices of Russian Orthodox Christianity. And from a young age, Grigory was considered strange by the people of his village. He was often found staring into space for long periods of time as if he was in some kind of a trance. He seemed to be able to find any animal that got lost. And he was also thought to have prophetic visions because he predicted things that ended up happening later.
Nice.
During his adolescent years, his supernatural intuition became refined. And once he reportedly predicted weeks in advance, this is a quote, "Father Dmitri will be laid to rest at Christian's house on the 15th of the month, 3 weeks from now."
Very specific.
Yes. Nobody believed him, of course. But then 3 weeks later, that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
Another time, Rasputin's father was getting ready to plant in the field, and Grigory said, "Father, I think if you sow this week, it will rain next week and all the seeds will rot." And the father ignored him because he wanted to get planting, and he planted the field. And the next week there was an inexplicable rain and all the seeds got rotten and ruined.
Got to listen to the guy. Good.
He also had prophetic dreams, including one in which the village was burning, and that actually happened within days of that dream.
Is there any chance that he is like going out and killing this guy and setting the village on fire just to make?
I don't
Okay. All right.
I don't know that
Because he was a bad guy at some point.
Well, we'll get into that.
Really? Yeah. Misunderstood. Really? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Will you do a report next week on Godzilla and tell us how? Not really.
How helpful he is to Japan. Okay.
Yeah. Not
How misunderstood.
misunderstood he was. He
I
had
can defend
feelings.
anybody. Yeah. Okay.
All right, go ahead, please.
Okay. So it was believed that Rasputin could speak to the farm animals and diagnose their ailments, and he later used his strange abilities to heal them, which he actually did. And these healing capabilities then, as he grew, extended into healing people. And later in life, he was often asked to come heal others. And I should say that before he reached adulthood, he was the only child left in his family. All the others had died.
Wow.
So I don't know,
Tough life.
I guess what that means, but
Yeah. He's a survivor.
okay. So after he became an adult, he got married and had 3 children with his wife. And then following a personal episode of enlightenment, he decided he was going to enter a monastery.
Cool.
So he went to this monastery and he learned reading and writing. He was kind of a wanderer though, so he couldn't be cooped up in the monastery. So he did not stay long. But some legends about him claim that while he was there, he was exposed to this Klisti sect, which is kind of a pseudo-Christian based religious order that believes that you could only achieve everlasting life through repentance.
Yes.
And the more you repented, the more chance you had of being saved.
Don't you have to do bad stuff to then repent?
Exactly.
Don't you have to go out and do bad stuff?
Yes.
And then
So
repent?
that this sect believed that the more bad things you did, the more chance you'd have to repent, and then the more chance you'd have to be saved.
I tried to tell it to my parents growing up. They didn't buy it. Go ahead, please.
So it was believed that he participated in many sinful acts while he was in this sect.
Such as
lots of free love, if you will.
Okay. Get to the bad
drinking.
stuff. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Go ahead.
The historian, though, and biographer Oleg Platonov says there was never any record, there was never any indication anywhere that Rasputin ever participated with this sect.
Okay.
And that the rumors about this were propaganda that were later used to demoralize him and bring down the Romanovs. So we'll get into that more later, too. So he did leave his family and embarked on pilgrimages all over to monasteries and holy sites, not only in Russia, but in Eastern Europe, in the Mediterranean, and in the Holy Land in the Middle East. And during these travels, I mean, a lot of this was walking. People would it was kind of a time where people would just walk around, gaining like spiritual, I don't know, enlightenment.
And he's a big guy, right? He's like a big guy, supposedly.
He's more like average. I think that was one of the things that was the propaganda. That not only was he evil, but he was this giant evil guy. We really got to get rid of this guy.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, please.
So while he was traveling around, he gained a lot of knowledge from other priests and religious figures, and he refined his healing abilities, and he gained this reputation as a psychic and a healer. And he demonstrated his abilities to religious leaders, and he earned the title of a starets, which is the name of a holy advisor and faith healer that wandered around. So for the rest of his life, he did these wanderings between like farming seasons. He'd come home and farm, but then when it wasn't farming season, he'd be wandering.
Yep.
So after many years of this, he became well known. And one day he had a vision of the Holy Mother who was standing before him and she told him that it was his duty, it would become his duty to save the life of the Tsarevich, which is the son of the Tsar, Alexei,
Yep.
the one that was the hemophiliac.
Yes.
Well, Rasputin had really penetrating eyes and this soothing speech. And anytime he talked to people, they would listen intently, almost like they were hypnotized.
Wow.
When he was speaking with them. So soon after he encountered this apparition of the Blessed Virgin, he found himself discussing faith and spirituality with dignitaries and nobles. Like soon after this, he just kind of got in with all these higher ups in the royal family and royal line. And in 1906, he was introduced to the Tsar and Tsarina, Nicholas and Alexandra, and was told about Alexei's secret hemophilia and the fear that they were afraid he might not live to succeed his father as Tsar. So Rasputin assured the family that he would help the boy with the ailment. And Alexandra was especially susceptible to Rasputin's influence because during this time in history, spiritualism was really in fashion too. And many people, especially in nobility, were seeking out alternate means of like contacting other realms and the divine and things. And she actually had a former spiritual advisor who I can't remember if he moved there for some reason. I think he moved away, but he told her another advisor would be coming to take his place. And so when she met Rasputin, she decided this was the guy that was going to advise her. So although the best doctors in Russia could do nothing, somehow Rasputin was able to stop the bleeding of Alexei every time. And therefore he became an indispensable part of the Romanov household.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
They had a nickname for him. They called him our friend. And once when Alexei had a bleeding episode, Rasputin was in Siberia at home. And Alexandra sent him a telegram, but Alexei was expected to die before the telegram could ever reach Rasputin. And in fact, Nicholas didn't want her to send the telegram because he didn't want Rasputin to have anything to do with this episode in case Alexei died. He didn't want his name to be disparaged.
Okay.
But he finally gave in and let her send the telegram. And she got a return telegram from Rasputin before Alexei passed away saying, the boy will be fine. He will not die. Don't let the doctors touch him.
Oh, Jesus.
So Alexandra closed off the room, wouldn't let the doctors in anymore, and Alexei recovered.
Wow. How does this guy do this? How does he do it?
Right.
He had something going. He really did have something happening.
He really did. He almost had to have. And I don't know if he learned any kind of like spiritual magic during his travels. Well, I mean, he was everywhere, so he could have picked things up that were pseudo-Christian at the time or Christian at the time. I don't know.
That's a big chance to say, don't let the doctors near the kid. And he lives. You know what I mean? That's a big, it's like a grand slam. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So in 1914, while he was back in Perovskoye, Rasputin learned that Tsar Nicholas was considering putting the Russian troops into World War I.
Not a good idea. Go ahead.
Yes. So he sent a telegram to the Tsar advising him not to enter the war, that was going to be a bad idea. But when he was going to send the telegram, he was stabbed in the abdomen by this woman who was opposed to the royal family. Okay. And he was then on his deathbed, but again, recovered. But Tsar Nicholas didn't ever receive the telegram then. Okay. Not that he would have necessarily listened.
Right, yes.
Heeded that warning anyway. But in 1915 then, after Tsar Nicholas did order the Russian forces to enter World War I, he was called to the front. And so he left Alexandra behind to govern all of Russia while he was actually taking care of the troops. And Alexandra was not equipped to govern the country.
This is the hemophiliac, right?
That is his wife, Alexandra.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay.
His son is Alexei, and his wife is Alexandra.
How do you get them straight? Yes, go ahead.
So Alexandra, because Alexandra relied on Rasputin so much and believed that he was in direct communication with God, she consulted with him about every point of rule of the government while Nicholas was on the front fighting the war.
Yes.
And Alexandra would not make a decision without Rasputin's approval. And so this essentially put Rasputin into the position of being the governor of Russia, like the, once removed kind of.
Yes, right.
So neither the nobility nor the Russian citizens could stand the thought of this once illiterate peasant advising the government of Russia.
Go ahead.
So on December 7th, 1916, everything was coming to a head. The World War I, like the revolutionaries were assembling in Russia, and everybody, hated Rasputin. So he wrote this prophetic letter on December 7th, 1916 that said, this is quote, "I feel that I shall leave life before January 1st. If I am killed by common assassins, and especially by my brothers, the Russian peasants, you, the Tsar of Russia, will have nothing to fear for your children. They will reign for hundreds of years.
Okay.
But if it was your relations who have wrought my death, then none of you and your children will remain alive for more than 2 years.
Yes.
You will be killed by the Russian people. They will destroy the Russian people, the Orthodox faith, and the Russian land will die."
Well.
So 10 days after he wrote that letter, on December 17th, 1916, he was invited to the home of Prince Felix Yusupov, the husband of Tsar Nicholas's niece.
Him.
Yusupov had often sought psychological counseling and advice from Rasputin in the past. And so he invited Rasputin over under the pretense that he wanted him to speak to his wife because she was having a personal crisis. So Rasputin accepted the invitation, but Yusupov's wife wasn't even in the city that night. The whole thing was a setup by conspirators of the nobility led by Yusupov.
Yes.
They offered Rasputin food and wine, all of which was laced with unbelievable amounts of cyanide. So after a couple of hours of consuming much of this poison, Rasputin seemed to be unaffected to any of it.
Yes.
The conspirators got nervous because he wasn't dead yet, and Prince Felix was told to shoot him.
Sure.
Somebody handed him a gun, and he shot Rasputin.
Go ahead.
So while Rasputin was laying on the ground dead, and the group was considering what to do with him, he actually got up from the floor and started fighting with the men. He was grabbing them and trying to, punch them out and things. So then
he's poisoned and shot. Go ahead.
So then they had to kick and beat him until he again collapsed and they believed he was dead. But while they were then again trying to figure out what they were going to do with the body, he recovered and stumbled out into the courtyard. When they came back into the room and saw that he wasn't there, they chased him out into the courtyard with guns, shooting another 5 shots, 2 of which hit him, 1 in the chest and 1 in the head. Then, just in case he wasn't dead this time, they tied his hands and feet, and he was then thrown into a hole in the ice-covered Neva River.
Go ahead.
So after a couple days later, after his body was recovered, not only were his hands found to have broken the bindings, but the autopsy determined the cause of death to be drowning, meaning that he was still alive after all that when he was thrown into the river. So, including that earlier stabbing by that woman, he essentially, he survived a stabbing, a poisoning, a shooting, a severe beating, another shooting, and then he finally drowned.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, and he was not a big guy, right? I'm just thinking
he was probably average size. Anytime you see anything like a movie about him,
Always big,
like a
yeah.
biographical drama, they always try to put a big person in
Yeah,
his
yeah.
place. I mean, he was from Siberia, a farmer, so he probably wasn't diminutive in size, but I think he was just an average sized person.
And so
I
then now,
read that he was. I read that he was 6 inches 6 feet 4 inches.
6'4", yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
for
can play in
those
the
days,
Celtics.
that's a giant.
Yeah, there are a lot of, there's really not a lot except for this historian. After the fall of the Soviet Union is when people really started researching about Rasputin, and there wasn't a lot written about him that was factual. It turns out, well, let me just say this before we get into that.
Go ahead.
Within months of Rasputin's death, the revolutionaries wanted to kill Tsar Nicholas, and the provisional government convinced him to abdicate his throne. But that only lasted a short year, and within 2 years, as Rasputin had predicted, Tsar Nicholas, Tsarina Alexandra, and all of the children, including Alexei and the doctors, were murdered by gunfire at the hands of the Bolsheviks as they sat in a room waiting for travel instructions.
The Romanov family. And one of them, there was a story
Yes.
that one of them got away. That was her name, Anastasia, right?
Yes.
But
yes.
did that ever turn out? Did she turn out to be like a fraud or something?
She was a former mental patient.
Really? Yeah, she pulled that off. Yeah, that's a whole.
And after the fall of the Soviet Union, then archaeologists tried to recover the bodies, because the bodies, like the getting rid of the bodies was difficult for the Bolsheviks. At first, they told the Russian people that they killed Tsar Nicholas because nobody wanted Tsar Nicholas to live anymore. Not the people, the revolutionaries, but they didn't admit that they killed the wife and children because they didn't want anybody to think they were that awful. And so for 8 years, nobody knew that they had killed the wife and children. Mm-hmm. So after they killed everybody, they had this plan to put the bodies down a mine shaft. But when they did that, they discovered the mine shaft wasn't deep enough for all the bodies to fit in it. So they had to come back and dig up all the bodies. They were having a lot of trouble with the vehicle that they had being weighed down with all these bodies in the mud. And so they basically just pulled over to the side of the road by this forest in the middle of nowhere in Siberia and buried these bodies in a shallow grave. Wow. And that was the end of it until the fall of the Soviet Union, when archaeologists and researchers then tried to discover exactly where this mass grave was, which they did. And that's when they discovered there were 2 bodies missing from that grave. One, Anastasia, that you mentioned.
Okay.
And 2, Alexei. They couldn't find Alexei's body either.
Okay.
So there were rumors then that those 2 had been befriended by some of the guards and helped to escape and all this stuff. But then a few years after that, just next to this mass grave that they dug, they did find the other 2
Both
bodies.
bodies. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This is Russian history. You think cutting down a cherry tree is bad?
Yeah, right. So everything that we have been told, according to this Russian historian, Oleg Platonov, everything that we've been told about Rasputin and the womanizing, the partying, the drinking, the rude behavior, it was all propagandized lies geared at discrediting the royal Romanov family. And none of this came to light till after the fall of the Soviet Union, when all of these documents were then allowed to be viewed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And the rumors were started. All these rumors about Rasputin, it turns out from these documents, were started by the Freemasonic groups in Russia, who at the time were opposed to the political spectrum.
Troublemakers. Yeah, really.
So the Masons at the time were in league with the intellectuals and the reformist parties and the Duma, who all wanted to dissolve the patriarchy and were kind of on the side of socialism.
Yep.
And it has been said that the worse the lie, the faster it spreads. So they just made up everything they could about Rasputin and the Romanovs, about him having affairs with the Tsarina, about him being demonic. And it helped really quickly turned the Russian people against him. And then because he was connected to the Romanovs, it turned them all against the Romanovs, like
Right, yes.
right away. So it's from these printed lies that most of the legend about him has been repeated over the years. And in most of the nobility of Russia went along with the plan to discredit the Romanovs, because they were all jealous that this illiterate, dirty peasant farmer who didn't have any money was closer to the royal family than they were. And they felt that it was upsetting the social structure.
The jealous. I mean, these people are, the people who were in charge in Russia, in Germany, and in England were all related before World War One.
Yes.
Right? They're all related, and they actually went to war against each other.
Yes.
Only because of these treaties that, if you read them now, they make no sense. It's like, if he attacks him, you have to attack him, but not if he attacks. It's insane. You know how many people died in World War I? Just absolutely murdered. I mean, there was one day in the Battle of the Somme, okay, which went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. 20,000 British soldiers were killed the first day of that battle. 20,000 killed the first day of the battle, just walking in waves into waves of machine guns for no reason.
Right.
No reason other than these people wanted to win the war. I mean, they were in a rivalry to win the war.
And Tsar Nicholas, he did not want to be Tsar of Russia in the first place. He did not want to enter the war, but he thought that his cousins in Germany were going to back him because he had family there. And so he thought that he was going to have the backing of family members in different countries, which didn't happen because they all turned against him. And his closest advisor, his military advisor, who I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he advised Nicholas, don't enter the war. He was really old. And this was, 1914 or 15. And he said, I have seen so many wars. I don't even know what we were fighting about. I couldn't tell you now what we were fighting about. And there's so many people dead. And now it doesn't even matter. And he really tried, just like Rasputin, to get him to not enter the war. But I don't know why. Anyway, in 2004, the Commission on the Glorification of Saints of the Holy Synod of the Russian Orthodox Church rejected canonization, which would make a saint martyr of Grigory Rasputin.
Really?
Even though the Romanovs were canonized, all the Romanovs were canonized in 1981, and their physician, Eugene Botkin, who could not save Alexei from hemophilia, he was canonized in 2016. There are some current churches in the Russian Orthodoxy that privately recognize Rasputin as a miracle worker and as a saint martyr.
Wow.
And beginning with reports from this century, there are numerous icons of Grigory Rasputin in Russia that are said to weep myrrh, streams of myrrh oil from their eyes. Yeah.
I mean, talk about a rehabilitation of your reputation. That goes on a lot in history. Does some people a favor to just talk about the good things and not the bad things? For this guy become a saint? Really? A saint?
Well, yeah, because he didn't. They said no.
They said no. Okay, all right.
They said no.
They gave it a try, yes.
They rejected. Yeah, they rejected it because of all of those rumors and because we don't have very many historical documents that really tell his real story.
Right, yeah.
But hopefully with this book by this Russian historian, hopefully that might be able to be revisited and actually get, make sure is that the real story?
Yeah, right. See, here's the, I hate to be like this. What a movie. Think about this as a movie, seriously. I mean, it has everything in it. Even this weird sex that they used to have, and this guy, he's mysterious. Is he good? Is he bad?
Yeah, there is a movie. I don't remember who the star of it is, but it's from the 50s or 60s. It's
Yes.
called Rasputin. There's also a great movie from, I don't know, the 70s, maybe 60s or 70s. It's called Nicholas and Alexandra.
Oh, that was a
in
big
which-
TV event, I think. Yeah, right.
Okay.
In a
Yeah,
book.
but
big
Rasputin
book.
plays a big role in that movie too. So
I mean, isn't it? What do they say? The victors write the history books.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
The people
So
who win,
Right.
you make him a villain
Yeah.
because you won and you don't like the guy, and you say, well, you know what?
I'll be a saint.
He's a villain. We'll paint him that way. Wasn't I remember watching a movie about Hellboy, and there was a Rasputin in that.
Really? Yeah.
A
Oh.
Russian Rasputin
Comic book. Yeah.
who was
okay,
trying to
yeah.
get the bad guys in the universe to come here.
Well,
Oh.
did a good job.
Yeah.
So, Brandy,
Wow.
can we clap for you now? Wow.
thank you.
Aw,
Very good.
that was really good. Wow, Rasputin. So thank you, Brandy, for that. And now we're at the end of the train ride here, Al. I'm looking at you.
We are. We're.
As it turned out, we didn't have to kill time at all. Anyway, so
It
I
killed
want to
us.
thank everybody for joining us. Okay, I want to thank Brandy. Once again, I'm going to clap for you.
Thank you, everybody. I will miss you until next week.
Well done.
There's the heart, and there's stop that club. Also, Susan K. Wow, now in low lit light there, Al. Look at what's going on there.
Cat's gone. And, there you go.
We wish we had the telescope that saw. Anyway,
Aw.
thank you, Susan, for joining us, and thank that cat and your own cat wife.
Yeah, she's asleep now. So.
See,
She had enough.
didn't have to be Rasputin to predict that. Thank you, Susan. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you and everything you do.
Well, and everything you do on and off camera, as the kids say.
my
Club,
pleasure.
thank you, Club. Club, thank you, Club.
Yeah, very enjoyable and in fact very informative, I must say. I got to go back now. I got a couple of boxes of Twinkies, and I'm going to sit down and digest it.
Wow. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Twinkies. Now all I want is a Twinkie. So thank you. Thanks very much, Club. Al, thank you, Al, for
Hey.
joining us.
Hey, glad to be here.
And One, wherever you are out there somewhere, thank you for
being you.
For being you. Okay. Just pay attention, please, to what's happening in the vets these days, and also Google Homes for Our Troops. Homes for Our Troops, you've heard us talk about them for years on this show. They are people who put together houses for wounded veterans after 9/11 based on your donations, and they put together houses that are more adaptable to their needs. These are people who came back, missing a limb or whatever, and they gave a lot to us. We should give a lot to them. Homes for Our Troops, please. 90 cents on your dollar goes right to our veterans. And keep an eye on our veterans, what's happening these days. And John McCain, not a loser. Why, hero, you don't make fun of people like that. So this is Mac from the entire gang saying, hey, hear us next time. Please be safe, be happy, and...
Bye-bye.
There you go.